let's get into Miami. Okay, so depth chart: Tua Tagovailoa, Zach Wilson, Quinn Ewers, and then Brett Gabbert. Then on the running, you've got Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, Alexander Madison, and Ali Gordon II. For your wide receivers, Mr. Ever, I'm going to keep talking shit all the time against the Bills. Tyreek Hill, Malik Washington, Taj Washington, and then Andrew Armstrong. For your wide receivers, you got Jalen Waddle, D. Eskridge, Tariq Black, and then Monterey Baldwin, Nick Westbrook Akine, Eric Azukanma, and Theo Weiss Jr. Then as far as Darren Waller's back, y'all. who who thought of that? Like, who would have known that Darren Waller would come out of retirement to come back to the Dolphins? That's really interesting. Um, I think he's on a 2 year or a 1 year deal. Someone could correct me. I think I'm thinking of like a 1 year or 2 year deal. But Darren Waller's back out of retirement. Julian Hill, Farrell Brown, and then Tanner Connor for your tight ends. Fullback is Alec Ingold, left tackle Patrick Paul, James Daniel for your left guard, Aaron Brewer, right guard, Jonah Seviena. Listen, if I butcher that, I'm sorry. And then right tackle is Austin Jackson. For your Miami Dolphins defense, you got Kenneth Grant, Benito Jones, Zach Sealer, Jalen Phillips, Tyrell Dodson, Jordan Brooks, Bradley Chubb, Storm Duck, Ashton Davis, Minka Fitzpatrick, Jason Marshall Jr., and Kadir Kaho. As far as your special teams, you got Jason Sanders, Ryan Stonehouse, Malik Washington, and then Joe Cardona as your long snapper. Shout out to you, Michelle, says I'm late to the stream. Go Bills. Happy 4th to everyone. Yes, happy 4th to all of you. All right, let's get over to the schedule. So let's talk about this. And before we get into it, I do think that Miami is in this weird spot for a couple of reasons, right? We know that Tua Tagovailoa had the concussion issues and the injury issues, and so now you're hoping and praying that he doesn't get hit. It happened 4 or 5 times, and from the fans to his family to staff, coaching, I do feel like everyone had the thought that he may move on and he may retire. And so he came back and said, "No, I'm not retiring. This is what I love to do. I understand the risks, so I'm gonna go out there and play the game that I love, and I'm gonna stay here and continue on that." So on one part of me, right? On one part of me, I respect it. I do. And then on the other side, it's like I kind of don't, because I feel like you're putting yourself at risk. And if you look at what would happen in a worst case scenario, you're setting your family up to have to deal with that, to have to go through the motions of that. And it's really unfortunate, because if something does happen, we all have to sit back and look at it like, well, he chose the game over his health. So, I do think that at the end of the day, it's an ego thing, and I hope he does well. I hope he doesn't go out in that field and get hurt more than what he already has. I hope that he's taking the necessary precautions to get better on the field. I hope that he's taking the necessary precautions to, if it's not there, obviously, just, hey, throw it away or just get down, avoid the hits, because nobody wants to see Tua Tagovailoa get hurt coming into this new season. With that said, let's get into the schedule. 2025, week 1, they're going against the Colts. Week 2, they're going against New England. Then, of course, the Bills for week 3. They'll get into the Jets week 4. You've got 3 back-to-back divisional rival games, which is absolutely crazy. Then week 5, you'll get into the Panthers. Week 6 is going to be the Chargers. Week 7 is going to be against the Browns. Week 8 against the Falcons. Week 9 against the Ravens. Week 10 against Buffalo. Week 11 against the Commanders. There's an asterisk on this, so it looks like that may be a flex game. This is going to be an international game at 9:30 a.m. Week 12 is going to be a bye week. Week 13 is going to be against the Saints. Week 14 against the Jets. Week 15 against the Steelers. Week 16 against the Bengals. Week 17 against the Buccaneers, and then week 18 they'll finish up against the New England Patriots. For your preseason, they'll go against the Bears August 10th, week 1. They'll then go against the Lions week 2, August 16th, and then they'll play against the Jaguars. They'll be playing against Jacksonville August 23rd. That'll be week 3 preseason. Shout out to Dean, says Tua is trash and I'm a Dolphins fan. That's tough. That's tough. Listen, here's the thing. So the problem is, I think Tua has a great arm, right? He has a great arm. He tries to be mobile, but when we look at his ability to be accurate, I think that's the problem. Too much reliance on Tyreek Hill, not really balancing the ball around. And you can accredit most of that to, offensive coordinating and Mike McDaniel, going to the well too many times, right? I think that's kind of the situation that puts Tua in those scenarios where he has to hold the ball too long and it leads to a lot of missed opportunities. Maybe that's something that the Dolphins will change coming into, next season. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, as far as where I look at their schedule, Anthony Richardson, right? Him having the problems and issues that he has as far as, being injured. Colts, I give him the Colts on that one. New England, I think New England's going to be a challenge for the Dolphins, but I do feel like that'll be more of an even game. I do think that'll be more of an even game, so I'll lean more to, the England on the New England Patriots on that one. Buffalo, I got to go Bills on that one. They'll get into the Jets, Justin Fields, that defense. I think this is another evenly matched up one as well. So I'll lean more to the Jets for week 4. Week 5 against the Panthers, I'll give them week 5. I do think that defense is going to be strong against Bryce Young. Week 6 against the Chargers, Justin Herbert, he's, for some reason, Justin Herbert's very streaky. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. So it's a 50-50 for me there. But I do think that the Chargers defense is going to be strong against Tua once again. They're very good pass rush. So I'm going to take Chargers there. Week 7 against the Browns. Crazy. Week 7 against the Browns, I'll take Miami. Week 8 against the Falcons, I'll go Miami there as well. Week 9 against Baltimore, I'm going to take Baltimore. Week 10 against the Bills. Like I said, it could be a swap. The divisional rival games are always tricky, so I'll give Miami an edge here just because I know the Bills will take them at home. Week 11, Commanders, I'll take the Commanders there. They're going to the bye week 12. Week 13, the Saints. Like I said, I just don't understand what the Saints are going to do with their quarterback problem, so I'll take Miami against the Saints there. Week 14 against the Jets. Could it be a swap? I'll take a swap there. So then we'll give that one to Miami. Week 15 against the Steelers. You've got Aaron Rodgers, Tua Tagovailoa. It's a Monday night game. We know how Aaron Rodgers does under the lights, and this could be the end of his road. So I'll give the Steelers there as far as that being the end of the season game. Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna take the Bengals on week 16. Tampa Bay week 17. And then week 18 is going to be probably a flex game. New England. I don't know. It's bad. It's really bad. I do think that they have some opportunities starting off in the season. But when it gets to like week 6, from week 6 to about, to their bye, they're in trouble. You've got the Chargers. You've got the Browns. You've got the Falcons. Then you run into the Ravens, the Bills, and then the Commanders. You get a little bit of a break. You come back against the Saints, so you do get a breather there. Then you've got the Jets. Then you're smacked back into the Steelers, Bengals, Tampa Bay. Yeah, I think they're in trouble.